My life's a story before me, and I'll try and find a way to be free finally. I'll reach the new world. The game has only just begun. I can see it in your eyes. This is where tomorrow brings a new game. It's time to learn the pain is gain. Ready, fight!
Hey guys, what's going on? It's your boy Bowser Jr. Fan 13, and welcome back to another Top 10. So in the last video, if you know that I've already reviewed Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City, and as I stated before, I love Resident Evil, and of course, I thought that, I guess in celebration of Resident Evil Village, which is one of the games that actually won Game of the Year, by the way. I know, pretty shocking, huh? I'm going to be doing a video which is basically my top 10 favorite Resident Evil characters. I know, pretty shocking, eh? Well, of course I would do something like this because why not? Anyways, it's been a long time since I've done a top 10, so anyways, without further ado, let's get into this action, shall we? Number 10, Osmond Sabrel. Saddler is one of the most interesting villains, especially in Resident Evil 4, my favorite game of all time. Saddler belongs in this cult and group called the Los Illuminados, and in this group, he comes up with a plan to kidnap the president's daughter Ashley and infect her alongside Leon and basically everyone else from across the world with this weird disease like parasite called Las Plagas. It's similar to like the T-virus, except from what I'm guessing it's probably something even worse. And I could tell that it's even worse because even like his mutations and everyone else's mutations are all freaky and creepy in that game. But even so, the reason why Saddler is very low on the list is mainly because his final form, it's so easy to defeat in Resident Evil 4. Like, he just takes one rocket launcher to the face and that's it. I was expecting the fight to be like a little longer, like just do a little more than just one rocket launcher attack. Maybe in the Resident Evil 4 remake it'll be even more interesting.
If you must know, my name is Osmond Sabrel, the master of this fine religious community.
Number 9, Claire Redfield. Claire is no pushover when it comes to female Resident Evil characters. Claire, she is a tough girl who can basically survive just about almost anything that comes through her way. In Resident Evil 2, which was one of her games that she debuted in, she was one of the survivors of the Raccoon City outbreak alongside Leon Kennedy and Sherry Birkin, who she became friends with. And then after that, she starts continuing to look for her brother, I guess probably to solve the mysteries of Umbrella and all that stuff. And she would even become the main protagonist of Resident Evil Revelations 2. Anyways, when it comes to Claire, she's very skilled at using a lot of weapons. Like, no matter like what weapons or whatever guns you give her, she knows how to use guns, trust me. Alright, so I think Claire is a pretty interesting character. Not to mention, she's so not only tough and ruthless, she's also very vulgar and quite funny sometimes. I can tell basically by the amount of cursing that she does non-stop.
I have a pretty damn good idea. Trust me. This ends now.
Number 8, Carl Heisenberg. Man, oh man, Carl Heisenberg, he's not like any of the lords you've met in Resident Evil Village. For an evil guy, he's honestly not that bad when you first meet him. Well, honestly, when you first meet him, he captures you and even tries to kill you in front of Mother Miranda and set up a bunch of traps to, again, kill you. But once you proceed more and more throughout the game, you'll start to learn that Heisenberg is not that bad of a guy. In fact, there's something that you should know about him. After his mutation and becoming one of the lords, Heisenberg, he actually wants to be free of Mother Miranda because he realized that what he became is well, not what he wants, and he just wants to be free, which is something I could understand. So he wants to help Ethan Winters save Rose and basically stop Mother Miranda, so that way everything will go back to normal. But because Ethan does not trust Carl Heisenberg and he doesn't like the idea about using Rose as a weapon, instead of coming with alternative plans, he just says, no, screw you, I'm not gonna do this with you. So what does Heisenberg does? He kills him. Well, he doesn't actually kill him, but he ends up getting killed and fights Ethan Winters anyways. Dang it, Ethan, why do you have to be such a naive idiot sometimes? Okay, sorry that I'm trashing on Ethan Winters, but still. Anyway, Heisenberg is very powerful. He has electromagnetic powers, which basically he can use the power of magnetism and lure any metal objects to him with his electromagnetic brain. And not only that, he also has this crazy hammer that he can use to smash you to pieces, or even use his mutation form, which is what he turns into, like a giant transformer-like creature robot thing. I'm like, dang, this thing is crazy. So Heisenberg, I can sympathize for you, man. You may be a villain, but you're a villain that I can respect and learn to like. Oh, and by the way, just like Claire, you're just so funny, especially with your vulgar language.
I didn't think you'd make it past Daughter Moreau, but I suppose you survived worse back in America,
Number 7, Chris Redfield. Chris Redfield is by far one of the most memorable protagonists in the whole Resident Evil series. Anyways, with his story, he used to be a member of STARS, just like some of the other characters in Resident Evil 1. But after the incident about Umbrella, and after STARS being disbanded and all that stuff, Chris decides to expose Umbrella a bit more and put a stop to all these weird zombie outbreak stuff by forming some type of organization called the BSSA. I think that's how you pronounce it. Yeah, he starts to form the BSSA and would go on to defeat many villains who starts causing a lot of trouble. He defeats Albert Wesker and helps Ethan Winters defeat Mother Miranda, and he also helps Leon Kennedy and a few other characters in other Resident Evil games, so no matter what the cases are, he'll always be there to help out. Plus, he's really strong, like, not just by using weapons, but he can literally punch a boulder with his bare fist like it's nothing, and I'm like, dang, how does your fingers not break?
I can't keep running away. I have to face the truth. Accept responsibility. That's the only way I'll ever remember. The only way I'll get my life back.
Number 6, Ada Wong. This woman may be sexy and she may be skilled, but don't get fooled by her, because behind those beautiful looks is a woman of mysterious deeds. Ada Wong is basically an anti-hero of the Resident Evil games. Alright, she made her debut in Resident Evil 2, and she poses as an FBI agent so that she can get on Leon Kennedy's good side and try to get a sample of the G virus. Although, after it was revealed that she wasn't FBI, things start to go a little bit out of hand. Ada seeming like she falls to her death. Luckily, she doesn't die, because she ends up surviving and gives Leon a rocket launcher to finish William Birkin. In Resident Evil 4, she works for Wesker and is basically coming up with some type of way to get the Lost Plagas sample, or basically try to see what's going on. And she helps Leon in that game, but also tries to stop him and basically escapes. In Resident Evil 6, not sure what goes on in that game, but from what I can tell, it's a bit messed up, because she finds out about these weird clones of her that are also mutants. Pretty strange, huh? Well, either way, I consider Ada Wong one of the best anti-heroes in video game history.
Oh, Leon. Why couldn't you just hand over the sample? I really hoped it wouldn't end up like this.
Number 5, the T-Type Tyrant, aka Nemesis. This monster is nothing that you want to come across. If I was to come across Nemesis, I would run for my life. This big massive tyrant is more than just raw strength. Other than just basically chasing you down, running to you, and basically slamming you into a bunch of stuff, he can spawn a bunch of tentacles and basically shove them down your throat or in your body, which is honestly gross and disgusting. He also carries a rocket launcher, which I did not know creatures like him are smart enough to use rocket launchers. And he also has a bunch of constant mutations that basically keeps him going. And no matter how many times you try to blow him down, Nemesis just keeps coming. So no matter what you do, Nemesis can't be stopped. This dude is pretty strong and pretty ruthless. And I also like his voice on how creepy and sinister he is. By the way, he's also known for the one word that he only says.
Stars.
Number 4, Albert Wesker. Wesker is by far one of the most iconic video game villains of all time, and he's one of the greatest Resident Evil villains, and I respect him for that. So in Resident Evil 1, he kind of starts out as a simple, normal member of the STARS Alpha team, working alongside Chris and Jill, and things seem to go pretty well. Well, that is until it's revealed that he's secretly working with Umbrella, basically for some mysterious reason, and he's planning to leave Jill and Chris to die inside of the mansion. He tries to summon out the tyrant to fight them, but ends up getting impaled. Luckily, he survives, and to counter this, he also injects himself with some mysterious thing called Los Plagas. It's, I think Ouroboros, yeah. He injects himself with the Ouroboros virus and decides to put it into action by kidnapping Jill Valentine, brainwashing her, and using her as his guinea pig. He also uses the Ouroboros to mutate and try to take down Chris Redfield, but he fails at the end. Wesker is not afraid to put up a fight, I'll tell you that much. And without a doubt, I think Wesker would have been really, really awesome if we were to see him in more games, but I highly doubt it.
Let me clarify something for you, Chris. I don't think of myself as a king. No, I am a god, and even kings bow to gods.
Number 3, Lady Alcinia Dimitrescu. Lady Dimitrescu, oh boy, yeah, I knew you were gonna see her on this list. I mean, she is my 5th favorite video game villain after all, which of course makes her my favorite Resident Evil villain. But what is it that puts her over Wesker? Well, she may not have the same skills or mindset as Wesker, but she is a villain who has class. Anyways, Lady Dimitrescu debuted in Resident Evil Village, and she of course is one of the 4 lords of Mother Miranda. She lives in Castle Dimitrescu alongside her daughters Bela, Cassandra, and Daniela. Their mission is to keep Rosemary's Flask away from Ethan Winters, so that way Ethan can't get his daughter back. Though the daughters fail, and this makes Lady Dimitrescu angry, so she goes out to kill Ethan Winters. And even though she fails at the end, she tried at least. Anyways, Lady Dimitrescu is very powerful. She has her long claws that she can slash you with, she has her superhuman strength, and when all goes wrong, she also has her mutated dragon form that she can use as a last resort. You gotta admit, for a villain, she's honestly pretty stylish and very rich. I mean, like, if you see all of the artifacts and priceless stuff that you see hanging around the castle, you could tell this is a woman who knows how to live luxury. Plus, by the way, if it wasn't for her wonderful actress, Maggie Robertson, we wouldn't have gotten this game to be Game of the Year, and this game probably wouldn't have gotten DLC. Okay, that's a straight up lie, but still. Maggie Robertson, thank you for voicing Lady Dimitrescu, and Lady Dimitrescu, thank you for being one of the greatest Resident Evil characters of all time. Plus, you gotta admit, she's just really, really beautiful. She can trick any man to be in love with her, especially me. Don't tell Monica I said that.
I will become eternally beautiful, just like Mother Miranda.
Number 2, Jill Valentine. Jill Valentine is without a doubt one of the most recognizable and greatest female protagonists and best protagonist in the Resident Evil series. I mean, yeah, she may not be Lightning Farron, Samus Aran, Lara Croft, hell, she's not even Sonya Blade, but she's much better than that. Anyways, Jill was one of the last members of STARS after it got disbanded from the Spencer Mansion incident in Resident Evil 1. In Resident Evil 3, she was the main protagonist of that game where she had to survive a barrage of zombies as well as surviving against the tyrant Nemesis. Then, all that didn't work out at the end because after she was saved, in Resident Evil 5, well, basically after Revelations, she is captured by Albert Wesker and was taken mind-controlled of. But luckily, she is saved by Chris Redfield in the end. Man, it's been a while since we've seen Jill in any games. I would love for her to be the next protagonist in Resident Evil 9 or whatever game they release. And by the way, she is very good with gameplay. Like, I love her gameplay in Resident Evil 1 mainly because, unlike Chris, she has more inventory space, which, of course, it's like the saying goes, better safe than sorry. Also in Resident Evil 3, at the end, you gotta love that cool line that she delivers off to Nemesis when she finishes him off.
You want stars? I'll give you stars.
Okay, so there's no honorable mentions here, so I'm gonna get straight to number 1. Number 1, Leon Scott Kennedy. I mean, was there any doubt that this character would be on the list? Who doesn't love Leon? Anyways, Leon made his debut in Resident Evil 2. He was the main character of that game. So, Leon was originally a rookie cop who signed up in the Raccoon City Police Department, and on the first day of his job, it's not what you expect. He had to survive an entire zombie outbreak, which was insane. Luckily, he survives it all with Claire Redfield and Sherry Birkin, and then things got even better. The US government agents basically took him in and questioned him and stuff, and they said that he's got the skills that they are looking for. So he got promoted from being rookie cop to an official US government working for the president. I know, crazy, right? And trust me, I am not making this up when I say this. And by the way, in Resident Evil 4, his first mission is a rescue mission, where in that game he has to rescue the president's daughter, Ashley Graham, from Sadler and the Lost Illuminados. And the things that he goes through that game, man, it's intense, but it's well worth it. Resident Evil 6, he survives another zombie outbreak. This time he's reunited with some characters like Ada, Sherry, and he meets Chris for the first time. And basically, it's what you expect in every typical Resident Evil game. Though in Resident Evil 6, I gotta admit, doesn't Leon feel a little when he's so emo in that game? I know I'm trashing on Leon for being emo in RE6 and in RE2 for being a dorky nerd, but hey, that's Leon for you. I love Resident Evil 4 Leon. I think this is the best incarnation of him. By the way, I also watched Infinite Darkness, and that version of Leon was even cooler. But anyways, overall, Leon Kennedy is just the best. He is amazing, and that's why he's my number 1 favorite Resident Evil character. Also, Capcom, for the love of God, put Leon in Marvel vs. Capcom 4 already. Jeez.
I'm gonna scrub this virus from the face of the earth.
And that's all I have for today. Anyways, so let me know in the comments down below, did you enjoy this list? And who is your favorite Resident Evil character? So you already know the drill. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out, everyone.